Namo Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fifth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society, by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body and my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I'm determined not to use alcohol or any other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I'm aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. Our Dharma reading today is Straightforward and Gentle in Speech by Ajahn Karuna Dhammo, from Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. Many of our teachers, especially in the West, speak about the need to adapt to modern circumstances while continuing to adhere to principles. One of these principles is concerned with wholesome and unwholesome courses of action, right speech. I was thinking about the need for us to adapt to different circumstances and cultures when we interact and converse. An example of this might be seen in the communication differences between monastics in a new Western monastery and a monastery in Thailand. We have a high level of engagement here at Abhayagiri, partially due to the nature of building a monastery and trying to form a community. There tends to be more interaction and speech during work periods, and sometimes this requires quick communication while we are attending to our chores. With this type of communication, there's a necessity for being mindful with our speech. We need to be careful how we apply the guidelines of right speech and interact with each other in thoughtful and caring ways. A line that comes to mind is in the Metta Sutta, straightforward and gentle in speech. It's a combination of two different actions. We aren't just straightforward, but also gentle. Nor are we merely gentle. We need to be straightforward. It's both qualities at the same time. This is often not an easy task. It takes a tremendous amount of skill and mindfulness to be straightforward and gentle simultaneously. It's easy to become straightforward when there is something we think is wrong, something we think should be done in a particular way, when we're in a rush to finish, or a previous interaction has led to some negativity. We can easily be straightforward in those circumstances and not consider the more gentle approach. During those times, we can blurt something out that is a bit too aggressive, demanding, harsh, or simply not considerate. When we are speaking, it's important to monitor our energy so that we are communicating what needs to be communicated in a straightforward, clear manner, while also remaining aware of the energetic impact of such speech, how what we say might affect the people around us. We can consider the impact a gentle quality has on communication, thinking, how would I like this message delivered to me if I were on the receiving end? Conversely, People can be overly concerned about how something is communicated because they do not want to upset anyone, cause any discord, or are afraid of someone's reaction. When this occurs, the message may be delivered in a way that is indirect, uncertain, or not straightforward at all. Therefore, the content of what is being said and its meaning is misunderstood. Perhaps one is communicating out of fear, afraid to speak up in a situation where someone needs a clear statement. We can end up being imprecise or ambiguous, thinking that we've communicated a message, but the other person has not heard a word of what needed to be said. Being able to combine clarity, honesty, gentleness, and kindness in what we say is a skill that requires a lot of attention and work. We are learning to consider both how our speech is delivered and how it will be received. I find for myself that it's an ongoing exercise of making mistakes and learning, going back and apologizing, and, if necessary, re-clarifying what it was I was trying to say in the first place. It's a meaningful and significant part of the practice, and something that I believe is at the core of our daily lives. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.